And the main thing that I'm going to talk about is how to aggregate data that you can then export from Dropbox in a consolidated fashion for your analysis, however you want to analyze it. And I think I've sent some of this out to you in an email, but you have the ability to select the audits that are on your device. In this case, we're looking at 14 audits. And you can export the data from those as a CSV file or a JSON file or a SQLite database. CSV file is comma-separated variable. That's what CSV stands for. And it can be read directly by an Excel spreadsheet. So that's a very convenient way of looking at the data very quickly with very little overhead. And it's all the data, but it isn't the images or the reports. Those are attachments. But all the data about the address and the heating system and the heating types and the condition and all that is there, and all the recommendations are there.
And that's in which format?
That's in the CSV. Well, it's in all three formats.
Right. All right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's in all three formats.
That's what we're going to be needing for all of our data analysis.
Okay. So the one most convenient format, but not necessarily the most powerful format, is the CSV file. It's convenient simply because it's already a text file. It's easily imported into a spreadsheet. The second format is JSON, J-S-O-N, and it's a text file as well, but it's basically designed as a machine-readable format. And if you're moving data from one computer file to another computer file or to another database, that's a very convenient way of doing it. It's not really designed to be human readable. It is human readable, but that's not the primary purpose of it. And then the third format, which is what we recommend, is the SQLite database. And it actually creates a database which is identical to what's on the mobile device, because the mobile device uses the SQLite database, and exports that. So I'll go through and just demonstrate that quickly.
Great.
And in this particular case, I have 14 audits, and I'm going to switch to admin. So you will be an administrator. So I'm going to change the user role to administrator. And there is a other, the very bottom one, other, reports. And the top report is summary report SQLite. So that is a way to get all 14 of these exported as a single file as an SQLite. And however many there were in here, you could load up 100 or 500 audits. But it summarizes the data that's on your iPad. And you can load all of the data from the completed folders into your iPad and then run this report on them.
Can I do the same thing for my computer, my Apple computer, or do I need to do it from my iPad?
No, you have to do it from your iPad. You can then process it on your Apple computer, but the summarization is all on the iPad. Now you could remember I talked about this JSON format.
Yeah.
That's a machine-readable format, and if you wanted to, you could have your IT staff extract that data and automatically upload as you go. We haven't built that table, that kind of structure, because everybody's requirements are different. Yep. So we built the core structure that allows you to do that. I think for the time being, certainly for 250 audits, it's very practical to do that on your iPad. Just load them up on there. Sure. And then run the summary report on them. If you were doing 5,000, it's a different deal. Then you need more of a database powerhouse.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is, if I run, let me go back one step. So this is if I just want to create an SQLite database. So there's two options. The other option is to select which audits I want. So I want to summarize only a few of the audits, not all 14 of them in this case. I can go in and select I clicked on select, and now it gives me that select ability, which I talked about before with mapping. And I could just click the ones that I want. And
is there any way to do a query, like say I wanted to do them all for one auditor?
There isn't at this stage, but there is in the SQLite output.
Okay.
So, so maybe we ought to just switch to that, and I'll show you that. So if I ran the summary report,
yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean that.
I'm going to run the summary report, and it's creating all of those summaries, and they're all being put on Dropbox. So I'm going to skip a couple steps as far as taking the time to upload it, but I'm going to switch to what it looks like.